Okay, agenda. So, status as usual. 1.8.1 as usual too. What else? Any demo today? Antoine, some more work on the admin? No. Okay. Zoltan, some ARR. No?
Nothing
Because
this
it
week,
seems
sorry.
you're the new expert in ARR.
Unfortunately.
Because I googled some stuff about it, and every time I got some answers from you on Stack Overflow. It was funny.
That's a pain if you Google for something and you find something. Oh, that's exactly what I want, and it's you.
And I might have to correct you actually on one of your answers.
Oh, please.
Yeah, I'm doing some stuff interesting with that. I'll show you later. So no demo today? Okay, no demo. Do I have any? I don't think so. Okay, let's see how it goes, because maybe lots of stuff on the status. Let me also prepare some websites to show, because there are lots of them in my stack. So where are we? This should have been already shown, and copy paste. Okay, let's start. I will share my screen. So screen is shared. Benedek, you tell me.
It's loading. Yeah, I can see your screen now.
Okay, so this was done. What is that? Yes, so Nick reverting some changes on the comments module. Yes, so on 7 days ago. That's weird. I thought it was announced Friday. That's weird.
Introducing _RR part, maybe.
Yeah, we talked about it. That's weird already. So moving workflow activities to their own feature, we talked about it. It's weird. Fixing permissions on projections, we talked about it. We are Tuesday, that's weird, 7 days ago. Reintroducing the R parameter, we talked about it. Updating jQuery. This is new. So I've updated jQuery to 1.11.1. Did you know that only 2% of the websites are using the 2.0 branch? Everyone is upgrading from, yeah, so.
How did you get around the version bug with this?
Sorry?
How did you get around the version bug? Where it, I think Stanley did raise the bug about it, where if you've got like, let me find it. Carry on.
Okay, it's a new one?
No, it's an old bug.
Okay, I forgot it. Tell me, open. Fixing the file which was incorrect. A nice story about that is if you look at the code, the default CDN is the Ajax ASP.NET CDN, and so the what I updated is that the Ajax CDN, well, the 1.9.1 version is referencing a .map file in the minified version, and the .map file is wrongly referenced. So it's a bug in jQuery 191. They're referencing a file which doesn't exist, and there is a 404 if you're using this version. So I upgraded to the latest, which was 1.11.1. And when I tried it, there was a 404 on the version on ASP.NET-CDN.com. And I have the luck to be in the same office as the guy who owns ASP.NET-CDN.com. So I just asked him, hey, can you push 1.11.1 on the CDN, please, because it's breaking my website? And he said, yes, let me do that. And 5 minutes after, it was online. So nice story, might not care, but it was fun. So now it has 1.11.1 on the CDN and it's working. Fixing the project file because I forgot to add the files to the project. Then change argument name to match the way they're interpreted in the default implementation. Okay, so semantic changes from Sipke in the search API. And if you look at the comment, you will understand why he was correct. Fixing null reference exception in dashboard related to a null check. Ignoring app restart. Okay, then a bunch of changes on the Specflow test. So someone on the forums restarted the thread about the Specflow test not working and asked why. So I just explained that I didn't know. I tried my best, but I couldn't figure out why they were broken, because there were so many changes at some point from 1.7 to 1.8 that I don't know which change will make it. We moved to 4.5, so I assume it was a 4.5 change, and I still think it's the 4.5 change which broke it. So he found out that it was because when a Specflow was run, it was restarting the app domain. But because we are using the ASP.NET host for running the Specflow test, which means we are starting a new in-process web server in the test. It's not IS Express, it's not IS, it's not whatever you want. It's the ASP.NET host process, web host, a local web server we are instantiating. So this one, if you change anything like in the binary folder, it will restart it, like on IS, but it won't actually restart it. It will stop it and not restart it. And this was breaking all the Specflow. It seems to be a new behavior from the web host because it used to work. So it's not restarting it. So the question, what he did is provide an implementation of a spec host environment which on restart, well, when restart is requested from Orchard, because the web server needs to be restarted, it will do nothing, not restart. So this fixed a bunch of Specflow tests, 90% of them. But then the Specflow test, which really needed the host to be restarted, was still failing because we need to restart when it's asked to be restarted. For instance, if you have a new feature, we need to restart the web host. So any tests which were using new features as part of the test were not starting. For instance, ones with what test do we have that require a new module to be developed, email, I think, or something like that. So they will not work. So I looked at how to fix that. So it's a different fix, which is later I show you when I find it here, forcing the host to restart. So because it's not recycling by itself, I've added a new method in the Specflow test to manually restart the tenant, reload the tenant without recycling the app domain, and that works fine. What is new to okay, and restarts. Why was it asking to restart, not only if there were a new feature, but I found an issue with duplicated references. There was a restart in specific case, and maybe Christian will like the fix, because it happened that Orchard framework had a reference on system.http.net. Is that it? Yes, system.net HTTP. One link to the GACT version 4.0.0. And Workflow had a reference to the system.net HTTP in the lib folder. And there are different versions. So what happened when Orchard was started is that it saw the system.net HTTP DLL in the bin, but then Workflow says, I need this version, and it's a reference to my module. So because it was a new reference, it will require Orchard to restart to load the new reference. And this was failing the Specflow test in the first place. And same thing with email, which has a reference to system configuration, but was not actually, yes, and was copying it locally and then saying, okay, it's a new version of what you have, so you need to restart the tenant too. So now I have fixed that by using the same, by removing the reference in system.
Does that change anything? Will that change any behavior, Sebastian? Because you repointed from 4 to 2 in the framework.
Where?
Will it not pull in? Because that's pulling in the GAC one, right? And the workflow one is pulling in version 2 from the ASP lib folder.
Yeah, here it seems to be wrong. Correct. So private true. So maybe the reference is still wrong. And here it's correct.
So yeah, but if
no. Yeah, it's weird. So private false means it doesn't copy locally, which fixes the issue, but it's not a correct fix. It fixed the Specflow issue, but it's not the final fix. Correct. So this should all link to the same version. That's what you say. So the framework one is still wrong, but the Specflow test is fixed, but it's not complete. And this one is good. We're just saying we point to system configuration. We don't want to copy it locally. It's in the GAC. Okay, so to be fixed. Well, at least the Specflow test work again. Some of them don't work because they are broken or they were broken. So I will do one is fixed. Then reverting this one. So I reverted the change which was breaking the fields update because there is no solution. It was always the case. You need to create before to call update. It's been there since the beginning of Orchard. So this is how it's supposed to work. The issue is that updateDator is requiring a content item record, which is created in the create. And it might show some issue with transaction log at this level, but it's just from on admin, so that's fine. That's fine, but it started, I think, when we changed from manual flush to auto flush. With a manual flush, we could do a query on something without the database, without the records to be flushed to the database. So we could cancel a transaction and no record would have hit the database. With automatic flush that we have now, there are some queries, and because it created a content item record on create, it needs to flush it. So it's fine because it's just an admin, but we still have the event create, which is launched before the fields are updated. As we always have had. Then I updated the version numbers to 1.8.1 to prepare the release. This will ignore because I reverted it. Fixing commands, Specflow test. Then I started to fix the Specflow test, which was not working anymore. This one was because it was missing a link follow. Fixing some duplicate references. Oh, this is the one from before. Forcing the host to restart in Specflow. This is the fix for Specflow. Remove deprecated reference to Orchard Media. Yes, there was a reference to Orchard Media which was not used. Merge branch 18x. Adding login in. So this from Nick. Then Nick started to. Maybe he has no more contract work to do, so he started to work on pull request. I don't know. So adding a new event in iUser event handlers on 1.x because it's breaking change. It's a new event. Logging in before logged in. He also updated Newton JSON.NET.
Yeah, 603, I think.
Okay. Then he worked on the pull requests. So I can't explain what they all do, but this one is easy.
What's this one? Yeah, so this is where, so say you've got two folders. The way to replicate this would be, let's say the server was slow and you just kept on clicking on lots of folders. Well, if you clicked on one folder, then the results of another folder could come back.
Yep.
So that fixed that issue. Next one up this was a refactor from Stanley, just moving the folder controller logic down to the service. The next one up was deleting items from a media. Oh yeah, so this was if you deleted a folder and then you recreated that folder, then you would end up with a bunch of content items which were just hanging around. So that fixed that. And there was providing folder path for Ajax request. So I think I just fixed them. So maybe I took that. Maybe there was two. It's part of both. There you go. So that was, I can't even remember now. It was on the weekend. Show me the admin file.
This is folder drop. So when you drop a folder or some content in a folder.
Oh yes, yeah. The drag and drop stuff wasn't working properly, of course.
Of course, it wasn't. It was working properly, of course.
Well,
they improved it.
Yeah, he improved it and made it better. And I found there was one bug within it, so I fixed that. What's this one? 2051.
Maybe it's the.
Oh yeah, this is to do with. So if you have a really long folder, then what happens is the icon stays on one line and the folder name moves down to the next. So this fixed that issue. Next one.
From you.
This is from me. This was where the folder path was null. It's just when you post it back, it was null. So a simple null check was fine in this instance. So this was from Stanley. So he wanted to override the media folder root location. I didn't see an issue with this, so I thought it was okay. This instance. Next one was the admin pager. So if you've got, let's say, 11 content items and you view all, then you still have a pager at the bottom. So this just hides the pager, but still shows a message saying how many items you've got. Next one.
Thinking about it, I'm sure we already did that and reverted the change at some point because there were some issues. I'm almost sure about it. I say it's 1.x, but it reminds me something. It's like we've reverted that because
I'll have a look at the history of the file to see if we can do that, just in case.
Talking about pagers, is it just me or is the pager broken on the homepage of orchardproject.net? If I go to the next page, I still see.
Oh, it has a caching issue, maybe.
Ah, okay. Yeah, you're right.
So this one, oh yeah, so there was just some code that was in media service, which we should use rather than doing storage provider. And then this is not mine. This is Daniel's.
Yeah, so when I replaced Windows Azure to Microsoft Azure, I also replaced these things, which are technical encoders and haven't changed. So he fixed that. He called it a naive change. I agree. But at the same time, he fixed this one, which is a naive bug. Fixed the bug. So he also fixed his calendars. That's fine. Found an issue, fixed it. Good. Benedict made a good commit, merging branches. This you don't care. This is from Sipke, who wanted to be able to continue a workflow once a redirect activity has been done. Without that, it will stop everything, the workflows. We wanted to be able to continue that, so it makes sense. OneText still updating recent activity view. Yeah, made it better. Pull request from a question took by Nick, adding a content type definition in the context. Yep, 6 months. It's the average time to get a pull request done. 6 months. Fixing comments, Specflow test. Then I try to fix almost all the Specflow tests. Sometimes most of the time, just the tests were wrong. They had been updated. Like this one with the new datetime editor. Like this one which was adding the same response header multiple times. Like this test from the list module, which has never been tested actually. I'm sure Sipke wrote it blindfolded. So now it's kind of working. Multi-tenant Specflow test also, yeah, because there were some changes in the site factory. And those ones from this morning from Lombik, aka Zoltan, because you will notice that Benedek is still committing on his own name, and Zoltan is committing on Lombik's name.
No, that was just a mistake. Actually, we both usually commit under Lombik.
You will be fired.
I don't think so.
So they moved Razor services to a specific feature, and they still did it in 1.8x. So we should fire them because they introduced a breaking change in 1.8x. We should vote on that.
The bug was set to 1.8.
It was an issue. You should have fixed the fact. You should have noticed that, oh, it was wrongly assigned to 1.8x. But that's fine. It's just a feature that nobody uses. So that's we'll have to document it either. And as you said, there will be a warning saying, hey, you need to enable feature, whatever, and it will work. And that's it. So if you see any important bug, please mention it. If we don't do triage today, we'll do triage today. Tori is 1.8.1. I've seen this morning some saying that taxonomy was broken in 1.8, which is weird. When were these pushed?
That was your changes to do with paging, wasn't it? Like pushed about 2 weeks ago, just before TechEd.
Paging?
Yeah, you made performance fixes to paging in the admin screens, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they should not change anything. It's just an option. So by default, they do nothing.
Right.
So 1x perf, I'm seeing some real degradation. Okay. It should be faster than before. So if if it's slower, that's an issue. Please explain us what you see when you can. Projection, we haven't changed that. Yeah. Nope. Nothing has changed. Some things has changed, but not on projection. Projection is the same. OneNotex. Okay. What do we have here? Some websites. Let's do the websites now. So it's the so some websites. Nice car. C'est jewelry. Frog. Selling phones. Orchard. E-commerce. Very nice looking, and we can understand who made it because it looks like the other website for restaurants. Photomic. Online printing, interesting. Ready? Yeah, ready. Web. There is a web shop module from Skull Photo Web.
I wonder if that's based on Bertrand's stuff.
Think? How do you know?
No, I said I wondered. I wonder.
Yeah, no way to tell. But looks nice. And this one, oh, this is an old one. Sorry, it's airport of Madeira, Portugal. Okay, blogs of the week. I have lots of them in my stack. Triage? Or any question?
Yes, Triage.
Or any question?
I have one question. Can you send me the code that you did for the changes to that OAuth module?
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'll send you the module. Any interesting question? Do you have some music, Nick?
Me? Not me.
Sipke, maybe. Okay. So Triage.
If it's the piano you hear, that must
Yes.
be...
Yes, that's it. Piano.
It's very soothing.
Mr. is listening to classical music.
Yeah, classical study music.
Okay, yes, this one I wanted to see because it might be important. Create a new content part, body part, title part, and taxonomy, new content item. Create a new content item. Click publish. It should hang. Oh, yeah. Interesting.
With session?
Okay, let's see. Maybe a DB issue. Ah, I should.
Hello.
Filter. Orchard recipes as hidden dependency on packaging services.
Didn't I close this?
No, you
Apparently not.
closed my one. This is your one.
Oh, okay.
You closed mine as a duplicate.
So what should be done?
Well, it's interesting because Orchard Recipes is a core module, right? So you can't disable it. But packages isn't a core module. So
Recipe has a dependency on.
yes. So I'm wondering whether what we do is we take out the recipe handlers, I think that's what they're called, and move them to the individual packages, and then place those packages with a dependency on recipes.
Wasn't me.
Well, a simple workaround in this case, or rather what we could implement, is to have some implementations for the services that do pretty much nothing. So you can run recipes, just commands and whatnot that would use packaging services won't work. Because that's why there's actually a dependency to, for example, pull in modules from the gallery.
So I'm assigning it feature because it's not in 1.8x.
I would say future.
Should
I don't.
be 1.8x.
Well, it's not. It's a bug, but I don't think it's.
There, and we'll see. And I'm just saying. Defined. We need to. I need to understand what happened. My brain is on low power. Server on. Accessing the image setting. Yeah, shifting has some drawback. So it's not an issue actually, just I can close it. Question, can I close it? Christian is typing it, say yes. What? But is it a bug or is it something you have to fix?
Means that the configuration manager is not referenced. That's what it says, or something along those lines.
Then crash when trying to access image settings. Typing a long message. Just want to know bug. I think it is a bug. When it is a bug, can. Enabling option search MediaLibrary, you have a provider enable. Okay, set up site, restore recipe. Okay. response to reset password should also set email validation. Oh, I see what it means. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, because there is email validation, and there, so that you, let's say user registers, and you never answer this email validation, and then it says lost password. The fact that I can change the password means we should validate the email. Why not?
Do you think that should be optional though?
Why? If he reset his password, and the password, to be able to go to the reset password page, he needs to validate his email.
Oh yeah, because you have a token, don't you? Okay, yep.
Because he received an email, so makes sense. To close. Okay. Yes, we should remove that. No, maybe we never removed it for not to break anything, but it's no more use, so we can. It's obsolete. That's what it is. We should remove it. Oops.
What was it actually doing?
Sorry?
What was it actually doing before?
Before we had autoroute and alias, we had the homepage URL, the homepage content item or something like that.
Oh, okay, that's what I said.
You remember 4 months ago when you asked you to change your microphone because there was a tick every 10 times a second? And you changed something? It's back. This is the tick.
Yeah, but this time I can't fix it. I will buy a new microphone or something.
Do you think that should be title aspect?
Doesn't fix anything. It should be title aspect, but it doesn't fix anything. And it could be here title aspect, but maybe we already expect it to be title part. I don't know, for a reason or another. So the solution is to either write a message when your content is created and doesn't have that, or inject the title part when you have the media part. Not sure about the solution. URL encoding slugs. An old one which has been updated. I believe I'm running 1.3. Is that 2 years old? Yeah, but I understand why. If you don't feel the need to upgrade, then don't upgrade. So yes, so if you're running 1.3, then I should assume the bug is fixed.
Well, I don't know whether.
Whoa.
Read what he wants first before you jump into that conclusion, because he wants %20 to be in his URL. So if you read the top part first, you'll see what he wants. Not the comments. Just
I'm reading the comments because we have reopened it, and it's not active. Why is not the bug active? Because it seems we reopened it. No, closed by myself. And I assume I said right after, the solution is to provide a custom logic for service generation if you want a custom logic. It's because of you. Because you asked a question.
No, it was open before.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
Before.
It's not a pun. It's just proposed.
No, it was. The status like this was like it before. It wasn't me.
Yeah, someone needs to repro it because he repros with 1.3. Maybe now there is no more issue and we can say close. I don't have any Orchard version working here. Sorry. Crazy. Assets tab is never updated with the completed jobs. Daniel is taking care of that. It's going on. So it's a multi-bug bug. Someone is asking for NewtonSoft. Oh, and please also jQuery. Oh, and by the way, TinyMC. And what else?
But this was fixed by Nick.
Yep. And I fixed jQuery. So we just need now TinyMC. Please open a new bug for that.
Okay. I think Jasper's looking at doing that. So.
I think we have that. Someone has it on a fork already and says it was working.
Yeah, it was Jasper. So.
Okay.
I'll see what stage.
Oh, he said here it is. Okay. No, it's Jason.
No. That's something else.
Okay, close. Done.
Yep. I put all the bugs that I resolved to Orchard Future version. Should I have done that?
If it's resolved and it's on 1.8.
1x.
If it's on 1x, you put on. Yeah, we should have. Why don't we have a. Stupid me. Okay, now you can. Resize, transform, can't access file. Underload, resize, transform, sometimes file. The file already in use and fail. Okay, maybe a concurrency issue when reading the file. Well, reading should not be an issue. Okay.
And does the image generate the next time you refresh the page?
Oh. Should not.
Okay.
Yes, he created. Oh, it's assigned to Sipke, reported by Sipke. I think Daniel wants to talk about it with you, Bertrand. He wants to try to convince you because he has arguments. We didn't have any argument, but he has some, so he will contact you.
Yeah, he wanted to be here this evening, but he couldn't make it, unfortunately. But yeah, there are some
I keep
things
it proposed,
we need to discuss.
and he has some arguments. I don't, and I don't care about whether it's yes or no. So let's fight. You fight, and I'll keep the winner. False warning. Anti-spam protection requires at least one anti-spam filter to be enabled and configured. If you, when you trust authenticated users, blah blah blah. I will open it because it's not the first time I see that, and we might want to change the output cache module for that.
Yeah, that was the bug that I sent you. Okay.
Some tags. Yeah, I've seen that too. Fix it. I have seen that too. Oh, I want to fix it for 18x, so I will bump it. Or where is 181? Automatically enable dependencies for themes to yes. Maybe it's not done on purpose, but I don't see anything right now, so I have had some email exchange with him. I will just activate that, but if I can't repro, I will close it. Maybe you have output cache enabled.
Yeah.
So I will say cache enabled, and that's why there is an option in the output cache to say depend on the culture, so that it will cache two different versions based on the culture. I will.
Oh, but he's not set. Is he setting the?
It's a culture select or result. So in the end, there are two different cultures.
Okay,
so
yeah.
Closed. Not an issue, and I will explain why. I have the output and then enabled and this. Cache to save. Oops. extract default translation, deploy the orchard command. The vote, so I will say OK. First of all, I'd like to thank all the contributors to the project. It is a really great job. Who takes the bet in 1 month, he reverts his judgment. I'm currently using the website, everything was fine. Long period time. Log.xml. I don't know, doesn't say anything about database. I can see some dynamic issues here, but
There's a query there where auto route part dot display alias.
what is this thing? Page modules orchard widgets views widget. So maybe it's his widget which is wrong. Okay. Usually people don't like this kind of answer. I don't like it either. Cache sometime is not thread safe. Sometime. iPhone 16 cores. 16 cores. Wow. I know only one person on Earth who has more than 16 cores. It's Piotr. Piotr on his laptop. Sometimes we have problem with Ultron starting. Okay.
You did do a pull request for this.
So I open it. I haven't checked the pull request. I will put a comment so that nobody takes the pull request before I validate the change. I don't want to add a lock.
I'll put a comment on it for you. That's that.
Because I know some people, because the action is open, say, okay, so the pull request must have been validated, so let's do that. No, I agree with the bug. I might not agree with the pull request. That's different things. Or maybe I don't have any opinion on the pull request, which means I don't agree. Which doesn't mean I don't disagree. Or I disagree. Just I need to also agree on the pull request. I agree on the bug. Impact. Release. please. Okay, last one. 1.8 ultra scripting C# decision failing. Bug fix included. Critical bug. Get scripts. What? Oh no, new line. What? The goal is to address token. Yes, it is. Why? It's coming out the second line. Oh right. Yeah, correct. No, it should not break anything. What is that? Script. Oh, if you comment it, you remove it. So there is no. Oh. Yes, that's it. That's the fix. Yeah, that's the fix. This is not about removing the fix. It's about fixing the fix. Okay. Yeah. So I agree with the caveman. I copy. Yep. Proposed active. I18x. Easy fix. Last one. Oh, this is fixed. Okay, I just open it because it might be important. Active, impact, medium. I just bump it to check it. Release 18x. Not please. Okay, this is for Nick. Okay, done with triage. Are you happy, Zoltan?
Yeah, let's do the same next week.
Everyone should be happy. Fix anything. So what are you saying? Surface 3, okay. Blah 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 blah. No surface, no harvest. Yeah, let's buy a surface for every harvest. Guy, product select time, realization. Yes, correct. Something not about the surface. No, nothing not about the surface. Okay. Oh, Jorge, maybe no. Okay. Questions, comments? Anyone has something to say? Ilan, usually you finish the meeting. Do you want to finish it today? You end the meeting? Maybe you can talk. Yep, and if you have some spare cores, please give them to Piotr, because he uses a lot. So 16 cores on his alternate install, I don't know what website it is. For the blogs, 750 blogs. It's just 4 cores, one single instance on Azure. It works. Okay, good. No more question?
Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, Ilan. I was wondering who said that. Okay. Have a good week, everyone. See you next week.
You too. Have a good one, guys.
See you. Bye bye.
See you guys.
everyone.